We think we have a really special show for tonight. Don't you think so, Tom?
A scary show.
Well, it is scary, yeah.
It's a scary show.
You know, I really like doing the scary things. It reminds me of when Tommy and I were little kids and we used to go camping, and when it was after the campfire went out, we would try to scare each other, telling the scariest stories, Edgar Allan Poe, mysteries, blood and guts.
Those are stories, though.
But they sure scared us.
Well, we ought to talk about something that's really, you want to talk about something that's really, you want to talk about something that's really scary.
Well, like what?
Well, okay.
Like what?
Okay. Okay.
When you're a kid, that's scary.
But I'll tell you something really scary. I dreamed out a nightmare last night, and it was
well, now that's really scary. That's a scary. You dreamed you had a nightmare?
I dreamed out a nightmare last night. I dreamed.
You dreamed?
I dreamed that there was all these men walking around this pale skin and these bulging eyes and scaly skin like zombies, and they kept moving around. And they started moving.
Who was it?
The Congress. And then the Congress, just for some reason in my dream, this nightmare, the Congress turned into the Senate, and the Senate started standing up. They started standing. I thought they were gonna do something. Actually gonna do something. And I got so scared, and I started running in my dreams. I started running around the room looking for. Look, I was frightened because they were gonna do something. Then I ran to a cabinet to hide.
You hide in the cabinet? Did you get it?
To hide. And it was a real cabinet, and I swung open the cabinet, and out jumped this horrible thing. It was an awful thing, and it said to me, it said, "Do you know what I am?" In a voice like that, said, "Do you know what I am?" And it kept going bigger.
What was it? What was it?
Bigger. It got bigger.
What was it?
It was a national deficit. Real killer.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea? Relax, Tom. You're gonna blow a gasket. Do you have any idea what caused this nightmare? Did you have too much to eat right before you went to bed?
No, I watched too much television just before I went to bed. I've been watching our leaders each night on TV, the speeches they make every day. I wanna be like them, so join in with me. We're the men who have nothing to say. Blah, 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 every day. Come on, Dickie. Blah, 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 blah. We're the men who have nothing to say.
Rhetoric, rumors, tall tales, and lies.
But they're not scared. They'll be okay.
Because just when they need it, amnesia sets in. They're the men who have nothing to say.
Come on now.
Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 every day. Blah, 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 blah. We're the men who have nothing to say.